first. Oh, oh, I don't get off the horse. I don't want to hurt you, and I don't want to. Jesus. Okay. Yeah. Where'd you go? Yeah, this armor gives you those 2 extra standoffs. It's pretty satisfying. Like, I got some minor things I would change about the game. Not necessarily complaints, but just some minor things. But it's a fantastic game. There's your neck stabs that you want, Ryan. Neck and chin stabs. Yep. Those are really satisfying too. It's also something I haven't really talked about before, but upgrading your dagger, you know, it as upgrades do, it makes your assassinations faster and quieter. When you start assassinating people, when you're at that base level, it's like a struggle, you know. He has to grab them, he has to slit their throat, he has to and stab them in the chest and stuff. You know, he has to fight. It's still a fight. Once you have it fully upgraded, it's just a quick right in the neck, and he's done every time. And it's just really satisfying to see that progression, in my opinion. Oh yeah, so much iron. And some ammo, yes. Okay. Oop. Whoa, I don't want to do that. I think I accidentally went into photograph mode. Oof. Ah. Alright. I'm gonna get rid of you, Commander, because screw you, hippie. Of course, always have to clean off the katana before you put it away. I have 2 technique points. What should I buy? Explosive powder. That's tempting. Let's actually work on stances though. Let's do that and that. Yeah, I think there's 3 tiers of how the armor looks. So it's got this base look, and then tier 2 it looks a little bit better, and then tier 3 it's even more upgraded, and then tier 4 is just stat upgrades. That's what I've noticed, and yeah, I love that too. Like, you know me, I love when aesthetics upgrade, when they change. Like, I think that's fantastic. I think that should be how it is in everything, because why not? Like, it just makes you feel good about it. What is it? Okay, there must be... Is that the side quest? Yeah, that's the side quest over there. Okay, I haven't liberated this place yet. Okay, that's fine. Have I not liberated? I have liberated it. Okay. Because I killed the... Alright, because I killed the commander. Yeah. Yeah, this... There's been several great games this year, but this might get my game of the year. It's really, like, I'm heavily leaning it right now. I've got to see where it goes. Like, I'm expecting some really heavy crap to go down at the end of Act 2, and I can't wait for it personally. But at this point, I can't really see how the game itself could disappoint me, because the gameplay loop is so satisfying, and then like just everything about it is beautiful. Like the load times are just super quick, and I do not have a PS4 Pro. Like I've got a regular one, so it's still really fast. I think the longest load time I've had is like 15 seconds, and that was when going between regions. And you know, like with Horizon Zero Dawn, which is a great game, I had like 60-second load time sometimes. Last of Us 2, I had sometimes a minute or so load times. Even Final Fantasy VII Remake, I had long load times occasionally, like when you're starting a new chapter or chapter select, that sort of thing. And those kind of would be, well, not necessarily Horizon, because it came out a few years ago, and just came out on PC actually today, or yesterday, I guess. But like my contenders right now are Final Fantasy and Last of Us 2, and it's like I don't know if they're like Last of Us 2 had a great story, but gameplay and performance, it wasn't perfect. It was good, it just wasn't perfect. And then Final Fantasy VII Remake, I loved it, but again, it wasn't perfect. It was, I had complaints about it. This game, I mean, I don't, you know me, I don't think anything's perfect, but this is definitely approaching it more than everything else this year. The fact that I restarted it and redid this whole area, some off stream, but I redid it all. I bumped it up to lethal. I'm still not bored of it. I would play this every night for 8 hours if I could. Like, right? Yeah, I haven't played Control yet, but I've watched almost the full playthrough of it. That's kind of why I haven't. I want to kind of forget what I've seen before I jump into it. But like Horizon's great. I hope it performs better on PC. Yeah, I think it's, yeah, I heard it's getting a new one, and then Control, isn't there one more DLC after this one? I think, I want to say I heard there was going to be 3 or 4. But I know this one, the one coming up, includes Alan Wake, which is pretty neat. I need to play those games too. I have them. I own them. I've just never played them. Maybe I play them on stream. That might be fun for October, for Halloween kind of stuff. And that could be fun.
It's still out there.
So I'll say this about The Last of Us 2. So anyone watching, or if you're watching the VOD, mute it for a minute. I spoiled myself on the change up in the middle, on when Abby takes over. So I knew that it was basically half the game. I spoiled myself right after it started. I hated it at first. I really hated that fact that it's like, oh, you're going to make me follow the villain for half of the game now. But having spoiled it, knowing that it was half the game, it was like, okay, well, I have to play through this. Like, I know it's going to go for a while. I don't really like this character, but I will at least play it through because I know it's going to be a while. I know I have 3 chapters to get through, 3 days to get through. And by the end, I was happy with the outcome. I was happy with the development they gave Ellie. I still don't really like Abby. I don't think I'll ever like Abby. I understand what they were going for, that they wanted her to be, you know, it's just, she's just another person, and she was a victim of Joel, and it was a cycle of revenge. I get what they were going for. The the abruptness of the Abby part was just, I feel like it was too much. It was too out of left field, especially for what people coming into it, because in the original Last of Us, you played as Joel and you played as Ellie. You played as Joel for most of the game, and then there was that one section where you played as Ellie because Joel was injured, and as far as you knew, he was dying. So, in that sense, the character change-up made sense in the first one. In this one, the whole reason they did it was because they wanted you to see the other perspective, and it works for some people and it doesn't for others, and that's why it was so divisive. I'm kind of in the middle ground there. Like, I was able to tolerate it, but I still don't really like Abby. I don't really like learning about her because, from my perspective, I didn't care about her. And even when I had to play as her for 3 days, I still didn't care about her. However, I still understand why they did that, and I don't necessarily fault them for it, because it did let you appreciate, okay, well, there's not really good and evil in this world. It's just circumstance. And Abby was a victim. She got revenge for her father's death. Ellie, in turn, was trying to get revenge for her surrogate father's death. But Ellie, thankfully, sort of, she changed enough over the course of it to realize, okay, well, I've done some bad stuff. I need to stop, or it will never end. I will kill an innocent person, and I will keep killing, and I need to just stop if I want to try to have what can be left of a normal life. And I saw something else too, where it talks about the ending and how, like, your initial reaction is like, she goes back to the farm and the farm's empty and all of that. But so my initial interpretation was what most people have, is that you get to the ending and she goes back to the farm, there's no one there, so she's alone, and she has to give up, she has to let Joel go. She has to, put the guitar down and leave it behind, and she's letting him go. That fits. However, there's a really subtle thing I read. I think it's a bracelet. She has a bracelet or something from what's her name? I can't remember. Her girlfriend / wife, whatever you want to call her. She has a bracelet from her, and when she goes off to California, in that part, she doesn't have it. She has taken it off because she left it when she left the farm. However, in the ending, when she goes back to the farm, she has the bracelet on again. So the implication is that she has already returned to Jackson, and she's reconnected with what would be her family. And so she's just going back to the farm to actually let Joel go, to leave the guitar behind, not that she's coming back from her journey. So I like that interpretation better. I think it makes the ending a bit better. And I did like that she didn't kill Abby. But it's definitely divisive. Like, I definitely understand those that feel otherwise. Yeah, Last of Us 2 definitely had a special story. It's just the gameplay, and the middle part of it for me wasn't perfect. Yeah, I felt personally like when they switched to Abby, it was like, okay, I know why you're doing this, but I don't actually care. And therefore, this half of the game is a trudge. I have to get through it to get to the resolution that I know is coming, but I don't want to play 10 to 12 hours of this character. I want more of Ellie. Ellie's the main character now. She's the only one I care about, and her friends by proxy. But that was how I felt. I tolerated it, but that was definitely the flaw in it. And they wanted it to be divisive. That's fine, but I think there were other ways they could have done it. I think they could have done it differently that people would have accepted better, but it doesn't matter. It wasn't done differently, and they won't ever change it. So we got what we got. Yes, I am trying to. I don't know for sure if I'll 100% it. I'm leaning that. But I'm definitely doing all the side quests. All the other content, like the exploration stuff. If I find it, I'm trying to do it. Otherwise, I'm probably going to go back and do it at the end if I missed it.
Well, my father went to go scare the kappa away. Then I heard scratching and screaming.
I will check on
Thanks for dropping by, Ryan. I'll talk to you later. I'll let you know if I grab the PC beta for Avengers. Have a good night, man.
Be careful, my lord. The kappa are hungry.
I really like these quests where it's like ghosts or demons, it's folklore kind of stuff. And it makes you kind of find the realism of it. There's one in, there's one side quest, where is it? It's in I think it's here in Yagata Forest, or maybe Kashine Forest, where it talks about a ghost. I won't spoil the quest, but it's one of my favorite quests because it just delves into the folklore of the supernatural and how easily the peasant folk fall for that. This looks like it's another one. And I love this kind of stuff.
Could be human or animal.
Like they look human. They look human, but they've got, sharp claws there, right? So this is kind of weird. Yeah, you can see down here, I did almost everything. These two and what's left, they unlock after you finish the area, and then I didn't full explore this section because I basically got to where I was done with all the main quests until you go to Castle Canada, and I wanted to just progress the story, and there wasn't any side quests left. So I absolutely intend to go back and finish this area up, what I missed here, because it's not much. But I wanted to continue because I wanted to get to wanted to find out what happens, and I wanted to get the new armors because I like the new armors. Look wise, I think I'm gonna like the one you get in Act 3 the best, but that's still a little ways off. I actually think gameplay wise too, because it's kind of I think it's more of a hybrid armor, and that's kind of how I play. But we'll get there. But yeah, my complaints about this game are very minor. It's just a great game. I think my biggest complaint, I talked to another viewer about it. My biggest complaint is the duels. I don't know if you've done any of the duels yet, aside from, I'm sure you've done Koten Khan, the initial Koten Khan duel. But I don't know if you've done any beyond that. Basically, yeah. So, alright, I'll pause. So, the duels are fine. There's nothing wrong with them. I feel they missed an opportunity for them. So, you know how they... Okay, so you've done one other than Koten Khan that you can succeed at. Okay, so every duel starts where they have the face-off, and then Jin takes his katana right here, and then he flicks it out. He opens it, so it looks like it's going to be an Iajitsu style duel, and then it breaks the cutscene and you start in your sword stance, and that's how the duel goes. I personally think they missed an opportunity there. There's lots of ways they could have done it. They could have kept it optional, or like a choice right at the end of that cutscene. They could have said, press triangle for an Iajitsu duel, and otherwise just ignore it and you can go on to your normal duel. And in so doing that Iajitsu duel, you could have, like, maybe you instantly win it, or maybe you start with an advantage, like, you know, they're at half health, or if you lose it, you're at half health, stuff like that, right? They could have given you kind of a pro-con approach to it. What I would have liked to have seen, though, is they do this Iajitsu duel thing, and it incorporates the button presses from the bamboo cuts. Because you do the bamboo cuts and you get your resolve, and it's an idea of training, right? And that's it. You don't use the bamboo cutting anywhere else. Like the button combinations, which some of them are kind of complicated. I would have loved if the duels had an option. You could do a button combination to try to for lack of a better explanation, like a rock, paper, scissors against them. Like it'll hit you with some previous assortment that should have been unlocked at this point, or random, who knows, but you know, you get it right, or you get the majority of the presses right. You start with an advantage, you fail, you start at a disadvantage, and then you go into the duel. I think it would have, again, my opinion, I think it would have transitioned better, because it would have looked better, and it would have incorporated the bamboo strikes into the actual gameplay. And I mean, it didn't. That's my biggest complaint, though, is I wish the duels had something else to them. And that's it. I don't, my other complaints are like really minor, just like optimization things, like with invisible walls, or you know, you try to jump on something and it fails and you glitch into it a little bit. No, I enjoy the duels, don't get me wrong, like I enjoy them. It's
The cuts are savage but clean, possibly from a blade. His killer may have left a trail.
after doing a few, I kind of realized that they're very similar, at least early on they're similar. And I would have liked to have seen something that kind of made it a little different. That's all. Again, this is my biggest complaint about the game, and it's not really that big of a complaint. It's more of a nitpicky thing. So,
More tracks.
you know, take that as you will. This way. Track the kappa. It's definitely not a kappa.
Smell. Cooking fish.
Kappa wouldn't need to cook fish. You know, Kappa is a demon, so it'd eat it raw. Old Kanazawa Marsh. I love the music in these ones too. Yeah, nice. Yeah, the longest I've been able to play it in a single session is 4 hours, maybe 5, before I had to get the new PS4. I don't want to stand off because I don't know what I'm
Wasn't
getting to.
Kappa. Just thieves,
Right,
murderers,
thieves and
monsters,
murderers.
just the same.
Defeat the bandits. Okay, let's go back out here where I can I do the standoff? Come on. There we go. Standoff.
Come here and fight.
Sponge bandits. How many can we kill? Can we get all 5? 1, 2, 3, 5.
They likely stole from Shino's father.
Oh, that's so satisfying.
Right here. The flute must have belonged to Shino's father.
Ooh. Interesting.
I will return it to her.
Yeah, that's it's a combination of improved standoff streak and the Sakai armor, which gives an additional +2 at max rank. So, yeah, it's 5 standoff streak is super satisfying. Like, I'm probably gonna wear this armor and do that for the rest of Act 2, and then Act 3 I will probably change it up because you get the new armor at the beginning of Act 3, and it's heavily encouraging you to mix things up and be sneaky. But we'll see. Mainly depends on how it looks upgraded. If it looks like shit upgraded, then I might go back to this. Because, you know, looks are important, right? You know, you gotta look badass. Oh, I got it. Speaking of badass. There we go. Switch is a better looking belt when we're running around. Yeah, I feel that too. As far as Act 1, given that you will probably like the Ronin armor the best, I can show it to you real quick. What am I talking about? Like, it's sneaky armor, but, I mean, it's got a huge boost to melee damage there. I used it for a good while. That's the default look, I think. Minus the helmet. The helmet's for my current armor. But I like how they've got an armor for almost every playstyle, and then they've got a couple of hybrids, and then there's a couple of, there's at least one silly one, and then one that's I probably won't really use, but it's kind of neat. Yeah, you've probably got the traveler's attire. Traveler's attire, broken armor. You might have the samurai clan armor, but if you haven't really done the story quest, then you probably don't have that one yet. And then Tadayori's armor if you want to do archery stuff. And then Ronin, so those are the Act 1 armors. Those 3 and the Traveler's attire. And then the rest are Act 2 armor. Yeah, so one higher than what I'm at. Yeah, it's really solid. It's got the defensive stuff. And it doesn't look bad, and especially since you like going samurai, it works. I think, yeah, the Sakai clan armor is a obvious upgrade to that. You give up your defense, some of your defense for better offense and just looking amazing. Like, this is the default look, which, so it's got a little bit more color on it. But even still, like, it just, it looks amazing. Yeah. And then, like, later on, the other two from Act 2 got the Kensei armor. So this is the... I like this one. I just don't like the bonuses too much. Like, they're just not good enough. For me, on lethal, it's because it's on lethal. That's where the problem comes in. If I was playing on hard or normal, these bonuses I would enjoy, but on lethal, I already pretty much two hit every enemy, so it doesn't matter that they take more damage because I'm going to kill them anyways. And as far as less damage, I get 1 to 2 shot anyways too, so I don't really need them to do less damage because it's still going to 1 to 2 shot me, right? It's not enough of a reduction to really make a difference, I don't think. It looks cool, but it's just not good enough. This one's apparently the most overpowered armor in the game. Because of the stagger damage, and killing a staggered enemy restores 10% health. You combine this with the charm that there's a charm that you can get that whenever you stagger an enemy, your attacks cannot be interrupted for 6 seconds. So you put that charm on, and then you hit triangle and you stagger an enemy, and then you can't be interrupted. And every time you kill a staggered enemy, you restore health. So there's some other stuff to that combo, but it's apparently really strong. But it's also, the more samurai style, in your face. You got to be dueling them and fighting them and hitting triangle and staggering them. So this one's, it's got the standoff streak stuff, but otherwise it's just more passive stuff. And it looks amazing.
My father.
I'm sorry, Shino.
The Kappa killed him.
Not Kappa. Thieves.
No. Only a demon could do such a thing.
Desperation can bring out the demon in the
Yeah.
best of men.
I understand. I fully
Is there
understand.
somewhere you can go?
I've actually watched very little gameplay of this.
My arm
Because
is
the same reason. It's like, I watch it, it's like, well, why aren't I
Just
playing
belong
it?
to your father.
Yes. He'll travel to Akashima with me.
And I didn't want to spoil. Sorry, I got
Thank you.
some of Act 1 spoiled for me. I won't spoil it for you.
I'll head for towns.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I'm gonna look at my I'll look at my I'm probably gonna do it. I'm just not gonna do it. Charm of bludgeoning, interesting. I'm just not gonna do it until closer to it. But yeah, I was already almost convinced for PC anyways, so that's fine. Bludgeoning. Moderate increase of stagger damage. Okay, cool. I don't want to use that right now, but that's fine. And yeah, I think that'd be fun, cool. Try it out. Hopefully I can stream it. If not, I'll probably still play it, because it looks interesting enough. Yeah, I need to end the stream too. Kids will be up. You know the drill. So, thanks for stopping by and have a good night. Alright, so let's go get the gift. Get the gift and I'll save and quit. Okay. Made some good progress tonight. Finished the 2 mythic tales and
Someone who saved the Jito.
several side quests. So yeah, that was a good night. Talked a bit. It's always good too. 100 supplies. What else we got? Just 100 supplies? Okay. Well, we're at just over 2k supplies. Okay. Alright, well, let's save the game. And yeah, if you're still watching or you checking the VOD, I'll be back Monday night. We're gonna be just working through this to try to finish it. I'm hoping soon. We've got a couple of games lined up, and then, as I was mentioning before, might try out the PC beta for Avengers, because it looks fun enough and might be fun to play with friends too. But yeah, so that's gonna be it for tonight. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a good night, good weekend, and see you next time.